All right, hello, Fide parents. This is just a quick overview of this month's lesson, which is on the afterlife. All right, it's on heaven, hell, and purgatory. So what happens after we die? Seems like a pretty hard topic, but it really isn't. And it really is an important one for children to start understanding, mainly to start, understanding that there is life after we die, all right, and that there is joy that we're trying to achieve, all right, an everlasting joy, which is heaven, all right. So that's really what we want to focus on this lesson. In this lesson, as usual, you'll have this video where I'm explaining everything. There'll be 4 lessons, right? Instead of 3, there's 4, just because there's 4 different topics we need to talk about in this specific topic, all right. There will always, as usual, there's Bible studies, there's end of unit comprehension, there's diving deeper suggestions. So just be aware of those. We'll go over that in a little bit. But main thing I want to address is in regards to these lessons. So the first lesson is on the soul, all right? That the soul lives after we die. How does that look? What does that mean? All right. The second lesson is on heaven. Third lesson is on purgatory, and the fourth lesson is on hell. When we're talking about these topics, all right, I really encourage you to focus on heaven. All right, not saying that purgatory and hell are not important. They are, and that's why they're in there. And I think it's important to be aware of. But we really want our children to understand the goal. The goal is heaven. All right, and that's why I put heaven as the first lesson, because I don't want them to be like, this is what we are aiming for after we die. We want to go to heaven. All right. And then purgatory is, this place of preparing for heaven. All right. If we die in a place where we have venial sin or are still holding on to some worldly things that are holding us back from experiencing the full joys of heaven. Right. So it's a merciful place. But hell, I don't spend a lot of time on, because not because it's not important, but because that's not our goal. Our goal is heaven. All right. So I just want you to think about that as you're going through these lessons, to put main focus on heaven, and very little focus on hell. Not because it's not real, and not because it's not important to learn about, but because that's not our goal. Our goal is heaven. Okay. As usual, you'll have the symbols, which tells you what is going on in each section, whether we are, sorry, that was upside down, whether we are discussing, doing a project, watching a video, creating a craft, or listening to a podcast, or reading something from scripture. So just be aware of those so you can prepare mentally, like what you're going to be doing in that lesson. The objectives are there as usual, to explain what is your goal in this specific lesson. Then you go into the lesson. All right. Again, the first one is on the soul. So you would talk about, you find out where your kid is. The first thing is to discuss with your child. Like, do you know what the soul is? All right. Just kind of see where they are. All right. And that's good. And it may help you understand. Like, okay, if they don't understand what the soul is, maybe we need to go a little slower on this lesson, take our time with it. And that's fine. Again, please take your time with these lessons. There's no time limit. This is not school where we have to get everything in on a certain time. This is learning, right? Let them learn at their own pace, and at your own pace as well. All right. So don't feel like you have to get this done at a certain time. Take your time and have fun with it. All right. If you want to change some things up, go for it. But anyway. Then you'll read a little bit of a scripture, which kind of opens their mind to see, all right, that's making me think about this a little bit. Watch a video that explains what they just read, and then have a discussion about that video, and then you'll go into the next section, which would be on heaven, hell, and purgatory, which kind of follows the same dynamic. So again, please try to focus on the topic of heaven the most. There is obviously good stuff in there on purgatory and hell, but I would say just try to be really excited about the topic of heaven. All right, because that's the goal, and we want our children to see that at a young age, that heaven is our goal, and that's what we're aiming for. So go ahead, take your time with these. If you have any questions, please contact me. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. Again, if you want to add to these lessons, go for it. If you want to subtract to these lessons, go for it. This is, how to work with your children best. So do what you need to do to get the message across. This is really a guide to helping you get closer to God. Parents, if you need to refresh your memory on some of these things, please refer to the Heart and Soul packet for adults and teens. That gives an overview of these topics at a higher level for parents to understand. So hope this helps. Have a good day, and God bless.